Doktor nak tunggu yang lain dulu ke doktor? Amai lagi tak masuk ni.
Kita tunggu yang lain. Sementara tu, let me see, is Dr. Atwa is here. Dr. Atwa, are you here? Tang Hock Guan, are you here?
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
All right. We shall wait until 2 sharp and we will begin, yeah?
Sure.
Okay, still, I don't know if Dr. Atwa is here. Puan Nur Akbar, jam 2 beritahu saya, dan jam saya lagi 1 minit. Oh, now.
Jam saya dah lebih, doktor.
Okay. Then we will begin. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good afternoon all. This is the last session for the conference, parallel session. I am Azman Azwan Azmawati. I'm an associate professor at the School of Communication, and I've been asked to moderate the session. We have 5 presenters. Welcome all. What we will do is following the instruction. We will give each presenter 15 minutes and followed by 5 minutes question and answer. Because there will be the grand closing ceremony at 4, so we shall abide by that. This is my rule. You follow the rule as stipulated by the conference organizer. Secondly, this is a sharing session. For me, when you present in a conference, means you are sharing something significant about your research. All research are relevant, are valid, and in their own capacity. So just present, narrate your research or whatever that you would like to narrate. Tell the story and enjoy the process, but abide by the time. So at the end of the day or at the end of this session, we will be able to learn new knowledge. We'll be able to probably exchange knowledge after the conference, and definitely this is a learning process. I would like to do this. I will call according to the name given to me, not according to age, beauty, or whatever. It's according to the name given to me by the organizer, because I'm a law-abiding citizen, so I will just follow accordingly. Let me look at my the name that is given to me. We will begin with Dr. Atwa Bajari. Are you here? Are you here?
Hello,
yes.
Prof. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So good to see you again. You know, when Dr. Juliana asked me to become the moderator for the session, she said, Pak Atwa is going to be there. So you don't make fun, make joke like, bila in, mau copy in. So I'm going to ask you, bila in, copy in. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you may begin now. You have 15 minutes. The Puan Akmal will tell you when your 1 minute is up, yeah? The screen is yours.
I think I have seen video. Please play.
Oh yeah, you are by video. All right.
Yeah.
But nice to see you online.
My video.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry because my network is unstable here.
No, you don't have to be sorry. You join the conference.
Okay.
That's brilliant. It's okay. Any which way.
Thank you.
Okay, Azmi, the video, please.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Atwar Bajari. I'm from Faculty of Communication Science, Pajajaran University, Bandung, Indonesia. I would like to convey my research with the title Head Speech of Pro-Government and Opposition Group on Facebook. This is the study of ethnography in handling the COVID-19 pandemic in Indonesia. For the introduction, I would like to say that hate speech on social media continue to increase the election 2019. Pro and anti-government or opposition group continue to throw narrative to denigrate and insult each other. Hate speech usually appear as a form of a higher response if the opponent's character make a mistake, incompetency in their role as a public figure. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, hate speech is increasing. The issue of the COVID-19 pandemic is not just a health issue, but has triggered a war of hate speech in various aspects on social media. And finally, the Indonesian police closed 480 accounts that were deemed inciting the government and individual parties because the argument said that hate speech in Indonesia on the pandemic era is very dangerous for stability, national stability, especially on the handling of pandemic 19. For the purpose of this research, we try to create three main purposes. Firstly, try to develop a structure of communication relation between groups. Second one is compile a primary classification of keyword. And the third one is to try to formulate goals and characteristics that are highlighted in attacking other parties in throwing hate speech during the COVID-19 pandemic. This research implied the methodology of ethnographic method, especially for virtual fields as the object of this research. The ethnographic method can explain the action of social media user in communication through their virtual account, such as Facebook, especially for group Facebook. Data collecting, we use application or a website application from exportcommand.com. And this application can retrieve data about content and interaction on certain Facebook page through its algorithm. For the analysis, we use N5 12 plus software analytic, especially for quantitative data. And the qualitative data, we use manual analysis. We got something like the pattern of the sentence, and then the keyword, and so on and so on. And we try to interpret manually. Data source came from a Sikh pro-government account and Sikh opposition account group. Data collection began when the government announced the first COVID-19 victim on March 2020. The number comment as a data that analysis in this research was 11,504 comment. This is not too big, I think, but this is enough for micro studies or micro research. For the results, the first one is we talk about the structure of communication relation between groups. The first one is the narrative pattern about hate speech are thrown by the two groups during the COVID-19 pandemic still have the nuance of the 2019 presidential election conflict in Indonesia, even though we know that the main issue discussed is the COVID-19 pandemic. The second one is the status written on the group Facebook account will provoke a hate speech. A status that contains hateful stimulation has encouraged high level of hate speech. On the other hand, a neutral status also provoke hate speech, although we know that to a lesser extent. And for the pattern of the war of hate speech on the Facebook between two group, we conclude that hate speech has built a multi-way communication relationship structure. Hate speech usually leads the intended account to reply to hate speech. And the second result from this research talk about primary classification of keyword. We conclude that prominent keyword are associated with a large number of bad and abusive calls. The second one is the main characteristic of making a bad and a rude call is the use of adjective pattern. Adjective patterns are used to show the bad qualities of other peoples or group. Adjectives that stand out are used to describe people who are stupid, pathetic, ugly, greedy, and retarded. For resuming our conclusion, I try to visualize with a table. If I explain for disgusting adjective word model indicated in our data, this is high, and a pathetic high also, and ugly is high. But for stupidity, greedy, and retarded, maybe moderate, still to quiet none from our data analyze. The third one, we talk about the dirty pressure on government and opposition account. From our research, we know that the pattern of if we group our adjective pattern, stupid, maybe we can variant or form in comparison. We found out something like a dungu, and then bego, pekok, blow on, and so on and so on. And for disgusting, it is none, pathetic, maybe something like a cuk or jancuk. This is Indonesian language. Tua bangka and brengsek. Ugly, maybe something like a bajingan, or bastard, and biadab or barbarian, and so on and so on. I think if we compare from two groups, this is the same pattern about dirty pressure for the hate speech. And the five result for this research about the goals and attacking other parties in drawing a hate speech. The dominant form of hate speech is oriented toward humiliation, and then acquisition, and swearing. If we try to visualize, insulting or humiliation is more frequently found in our data. Intimidation also, and then acquisition and swearing is more frequently or highest in our data. But for promoting violence is rarely, if we conclude from our research. For the next result is about the head speech on head speech narrative form on the pro-government and opponent Facebook account. I would like to say that if we interpret from our data quantitatively, the category that stood out the most are the pro-government members or opponent also convey or committed the most against the opposition was insult, followed by the categories of acquisition, coerce, intimidation, and promoting violence. The interesting found in this study is that hate speech is not always sound in harsh language or accompanied by a dirty or absent phrase, but often hate speech is conveyed in the other form, something like a form of mild language packaged in or in a satire. For our research, uh, I tried to create a conclusion in short. Firstly, hate speech has built a two-way and multi-way communication relationship structure using the indicator of the use of notification of the account or the address where the comment is intended. The second conclusion is the model of using provocative comment use more adjective that refer to trait, something like stupid, disgusting, pathetic, ugly, and retarded. And the final conclusion is the four dominant goals of hate speech are insulting or humiliation, then intimidation, accusing, accusing, and swearing orientation. That's my research. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you very much, Dr. Atwar. Thank you so much for the very exciting research and presentation. Only today I know what brain sack means. Oh my God, that is so scary. Okay, your video took up 12.45 minutes.
Yes, of course. I'm so sorry.
We have 7.15 minutes for question and answer. Okay?
Okay, no problem.
Okay, who like to ask question? Please do so right now.
I think that's enough.
Anybody? Santi Indra Astuti?
Nobody.
Oh, I see.
May I, Prof?
Sorry?
Okay, no
Yep.
problem.
If I may to just give one comment for this presentation, because it is really important also to describe the situation in Indonesia.
Yeah,
actually.
I think you more knowing. I think.
No, I'm not the actor. I'm the victim. Oh no. By the way, Prof. Aswan, Prof. Atwar, thank you so much. Anyway, I just want to know your opinion about the recent data that shared by the Microsoft about the digital civility index of Indonesian people. It seemed that when you share your research about the abundance of hate speech in the internet, it seemed in accordance with the findings from that index.
Microsoft,
yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think I'm so sorry if my presentation convey with my video because I know it's not too busy. I think like time, But thank you very much, Ibu Santi. I think you is the one of the actor in setting up a discussion in Indonesia about fake news, hate speech, and so on. And when you asked me about Microsoft Index, I think my research have a relevant, I think, relevant result with the Microsoft Index because, but I think there is not apple to apple comparing between my research with Microsoft because Microsoft have a big data, I think, but my data is so small, I think. And I said before, this my research is micro analysis, but we try take a perspective with the qualitative, my as if I respond your question, I think my research have the same result with Microsoft. Orang Indonesia is very noisy and have not the bad habit. I think cerewet. Yeah, what is it? Cerewet, cerewet and jorok. You know what is that mean?
What is jorok?
I don't know what is jorok. It's so rude. You know, maybe rude or kasar begitu ya. If
Okay.
Rude or bastard.
a bastard, bastard. And if
Yes.
hello, Mr. Sulhan. I'm so sorry, I'm the first one. Okay. Well, I tried to analyze with the N50 plus from maybe 11,000 command. I found that everything what they root on their status can stimulate head speech. You know, especially when the status is content about 75% will respond from the netizen more head speech gitu. I think this is the big problem for Indonesian people. I don't know why, but orang Indonesia tuh maybe suka berkelahi gitu, suka apa ya? Uh, suka berantem begitu. What does that mean? I don't know.
Bergaduh, bergaduh.
Bergaduh, suka bergaduh. And then if the sentence is natural, I found that can stimulate 20 to 40% a head speech. I don't know why. Maybe this is everything what the public figure said, everything what the group citizen or group akun said can stimulate from the opposition to give a head speech. That is the reality for Indonesian social media. And I say that I'm so agree with Microsoft Index about their research. This is my response to your question. Thank you very much, Mr. Santi.
Okay, we still have, I think, 3 more minutes. So, Dr. Muhammad Sulhan, any question?
No question. She's the expert.
Thank you so much, Prof. Azwan. Nice to meet you. I'm so missing you all, guys.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you. But this is not question. Just share what whatever I think and whatever I feel about this head speech and the hawks in the heart feeling in Indonesian context, Indonesian people. So I totally agree with the Prof. Atwar, my leader and my tutor, because in Indonesian is a problem with the fact is we have two main area in our world living day in daily life. The first one, we live in the internet world, and Indonesian call it dunia maya, I think. But in the other word, we fight in the real world. Okay. And sometimes this is the parallelism in the Palka context, in the political context, and as well president election and governor election. It is parallel. But in the other time, when we come around in the village and Idul Fitri, there is some kind different, really different context. We can mohon ampun, we can please forgive me in the Idul Fitri, but in the internet side, we fight. It is really weird, I think. I don't know. What do you think, Prof. Adwar? What do you think?
I don't know.
If you ask me, to me that is what honesty is all about. Because you say it blatantly on Facebook, on social media, but in reality you respect each other's opinion. That is what discussion and embracing differences are all about to me. Because you don't go around, kill each other. You kill with words on social media. Malaysian does that too nowadays. But when it's identity or whatever, it's just like our research culture. We are different ideologically. but we embrace and respect each other's differences.
Okay.
That's to me.
Okay, thank you very much. This is my response also with represent with Mrs. Azwan, I think. Thank you, Pak Sulhan.
Maybe Associate Professor Dr. Shuhaida would like to contribute. What do you think, Dr. Shuhaida?
Yes, I think we should always express what we think. Yeah, it doesn't mean what they say agree to disagree. You know, so it's all right. It's to just say it out. And like me and Dr. Azwan, we always disagree.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we're good friends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was very pertinent, relevant, and totally the situation everywhere in this world now. Hate speech. People are really all set and ready to really nail it down. Their own government.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prof. Atwa. Thank you for joining. Okay. Like I said just now, I go according to the list, not age and beauty. So the next one is Dr. Muhammad Sulhan from. Please introduce yourself. I know where you're from, but please introduce yourself.
I comes from Yogyakarta, Universitas Gajah Mada, absolutely. And I tried to give some presentation of that simple thing of the phenomenon in Indonesian. Sorry, it's not like complicated like Prof. Atwar. It just my simplified ideas about the political interest and the media ethic in Indonesia. May I share my slide?
Yeah, please.
Yes. Wait a minute. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, this is what I want to present to you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good afternoon, tuan-tuan. This is my I think this is my confusing in media in Indonesia, and my I don't know, my angry maybe, just to share to you about why and disaster issues have a problem and main issues in Indonesia as a news reporting from the journalists in Indonesia. My title is Media Ethic and Political Interest, Comparative Study of Disaster Issues as a Political Images in 2 online media in Indonesia. Okay, let's start. So I tried to elaborate about media ethics. This is really abstract and really confusing sometimes, and also have a dilemmatic, have a conflict of ideology, have a problematic in the definition and how to act in the practically day by day. But in the journalists, the concept of media ethics should be fundamental for the journalists. So a long time, Kopach and Rosenthal emphasized it's important with 9 elements of journalism. The ultimate point of the ethic is the truth, I think. The truth is a real problem for journalists. What is the truth by itself? We don't know anything about the truth. So, but the basic problem, the truth should come from inner self of journalists. The answer of the truth is meant back to your heart, your feeling, and it's really subjective. All of the journalists feel, all of journalists says about the truth, but the truth become an ultimate mission. Absolutely, how the journalist tells the truth is represent ethic itself. I think this is the high relate over the truth and the ethics. Practically, definition and meaning of truth reflect the situation and condition by time. Journalists as role play as a narrator and writers than investigators. The truth doesn't mean accuracy. Kopach and Rosenthal suggest for objective method when journalists work. So as a human, journalists cannot get objective, but the reporting's method can do. So my point is how we can investigate the news as a text by the reporting methods to represent the truth by accuracy context. So the fact in my case is Agung Mountain erupted in September 2017. Online media journalists created a disaster as a breaking news. I think it is same like in the Malaysia, I don't know, but in Indonesia, our country is so many disaster, and the journalists come and investigate the disaster. But the problem is, it's not just about disaster itself as a news, but many things of the political interest or elite interest or government interest join in the disaster news. After September 2017, they reported every hour starting from the eruption and aftermath, real situation, refugees, and condition, and anything condition about disaster. So we know disaster issues so crucial, important, and have a high news value. I don't know what the definition of high. When disaster happens, many political powers affirm their position. The political elite use the issues to enhance their career and position. The politician can use the issues of disaster to create public opinion. Finally, they want the constituent as a voters. So the problem for these issues and this fact is how the online media reporting and investigate the disaster issues. So how politicians get the advantage and benefits from the disaster issues. So I tried to investigate and try to use critical discourse analysis by my improvisation to analysis of the title of news, structure of news, and pictures, so on, in two online media, detik.com and liputanbali.com. I tried to use 2 steps of try to elaborate this data. Firstly, I collecting news in 1 week after eruption of Agung Mountain, September 18 and September 24. And secondly, I try to analyze 2 main issues. Firstly, structure of news and describe images of politicians. Don't forget, I tried to investigate the discourse of truth and accuracy and politician images and all of the news from detik.com and liputanbali.com. So the why I try to compare these 2 online media, because the detiknews.com, detik.com comes from national media level. It's mean the detik.com have a high and coverage area more than local media level like liputanbali.com. It's a different thing of the media, of the 2 online media. So my purpose in the study is try to describe, analysis, and compare how the issues of journalist ethics, truth and accuracy, and what I mean about ethics, truth and accuracy, relate with political interests of politicians into online media in Indonesia when reporting on the eruption of Agung Mountain in September 2017. So this is my data. I try to compare detik.com news title and liputanbali.com news title just in 5 type of issues. The first issues is the situation report, and then the government interest, the politician images, refugees, and the unpredictable impact. So this table try to compare linearly the type of issues and that of the reporting of the issues. For example, in September 18th, Mount Agung status become alerts in resident are called to be alert from the detik.com news title. Compare with earthquake frequency continues to increase. Mount Agung status increase caution level in the liputanbali.com. It's mean the local issues and the national issues, there is some problem and some issues to elaborate and to reporting and to investigating. But how two of online media describe and analysis and investigating the fact is really different. Depend on what the condition and what of interpreting of condition from the journalist itself by their perception. Absolutely. Okay, let's say how I can analyze the fact and the news. I try to relate the title, the structure of news, and the picture from the code of conduct in Indonesian journalists. We call it code etik journalistic in Indonesian. And the main point, the ultimate value in the code of conduct in Indonesian journalists, I have 3 points. Firstly, Indonesian journalists are independent, accurate in the news production, fairness, and not in bad faith. Secondly, Indonesian journalists take professional ways when carrying out journalistic duties. And the last one, the professional ways come from factually and clearly. For etc., the source, processes, and non-plagiarism, etc. So I try to elaborate the 5 types of issues. This is my analysis. Firstly, about the accuracy of news. In context of disaster, accuracy means how journalists has a basic knowledge about disaster. In Indonesian journalists, that is really problematic. They need more time relatively to know about disaster as event. In disaster situation, the journalists of 2 online media has not time enough to describe the condition correctly. They put pic as a primary data and send it to the media desk. They do not aware about the political interest, including in their news. It is what I said, the political interest, the political interest always going to moving the one condition and the other condition in the disaster event. Detik.com has been more interesting to frame what the politician and government done for refugees. They have not correspondence enough in location to investigate what really happens. Liputanbali.com has been more interesting the number of refugees. They have many journalists in the spot area because they are a local context. Liputan Bali is a local media. Liputanbali.com investigate for many details of event by accuracy issues in Agung Mountain eruption. Liputan Bali in this context more than Detik.com. So in the 2 of discourse, and I try to elaborate, is come from political images. Disaster have a high news value. Mount Agung eruption has drawn interest of many politicians. They know news value made popularity, political elite, and non-government organization, and many more. The eruption issues become special moment for many people and stakeholders, especially politicians. For what? To get popularity. Firstly, they get that from news value of disaster. 1 week after Mount Agung eruption, many politicians, governors, and ministers taking advantage of the event to make news value. The journalist has a mainstream to coverage for elite. This is make journalists like a tool for popular culture, then investigator for the disaster itself. The fact suggests that news is moving away from foreign affairs toward domestic concern, away from politics toward human interest stories, away from issues to people. The reality was constructed by journalists toward media interests. So this is how I try to give you a picture in the media online, how the politician can get advantage and benefit from the disaster issues. This is Minister of Maritime in Indonesia, Luhut. This is Anas. This is like some Bupati in the Banyuwangi. This is Kopipah, Minister of Social. Now this is Governor in Java, and this is a politician of Partai Demokrasi Perjuangan, one of the biggest party in Indonesia. So what I want try to say is the disaster issues and disaster event. When disaster is tried to framing by the journalists, make a news by disaster as a event, the politician get the benefit and advantage. They come to the disaster village, they come to the disaster location, get the number of popularity, get a number of camera, get a many publish with whatever journalists take in condition and location. So for my conclusion, in disaster context, journalists tried to construct a picture of Mount Agung event in September 2017. They frame situation of disaster on 5-point issues: situation report, condition of refugees, politician images, government interest, and unpredictable impact. The analysis and compared to online media describe how disaster issues going to opportunity for political branding by elite. What I meant is politician and political party and so on. Natural disaster have many news value. The two online media put the event eruption as element of news. They reframe a natural disaster on many point of view, especially for political interest by politicians. This is, I tried to describe a comparative of discourse from the 5 main issues and try to elaborate the two discourse, the truth and accuracy, political and political interest. What I try to conclude, I give you conclusion is when the disaster issues happens, the politician take the benefit, how to make popularity for themselves. It's mean this is not about disaster. This is not about disaster or the people interest. This is about political interest. Maybe this is just condition in Indonesian context. I don't know what happened in Malaysia and what happened in another place in the world. I don't know, but I think this is really seriously because what? Because journalists have no power to bargain with the politician. I don't know what happened. Thank you so much, Prof. Azwan. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Makasih, my good friend, Dr. Muhammad Sulhan. Very exciting research and topic because after so many years, you reinstate the traditional, the global belief that media, what sells, politician are opportunists, and media is being controlled. This is exactly not only Indonesia, like we have read so many scholars research finding proven the same. So,
ada apa ya?
Dr. Shaida, you're online. So, Dr. Muhammad Sulhan, I open the floor for a question. We should do a joint research, Dr. Muhammad Sulhan, on this.
Prof. Anwar, what do you think?
Yeah. Are you there, Prof. Atwa?
I'm here. Yes, I think this is the research of Mr. Sulhan is very interesting research, especially for situation or ethic standard for Indonesian journalists, you know, because we have, especially for the online journalism era, we have many obstacles to forming or to formulating about what is the ethic, especially for online journalism. In my concern, the concept of accuracy for now, I think this is the very difficult situation because in the one hand, one journalism need many data. Sorry. I think that needs something that their news is more speed to spread to the public, and then didn't have time to check and recheck about their data. And the other hand, they have some pressure from the public figure, political party, especially, I think, especially for local news or local newspaper. This is my concern and my opinion. I'm so sorry if I don't have data for validation your research. Thank you very much, Mr. Zulhan.
Without data validation, your expertise speaks volume, Prof. Atwar.
Thank you.
Okay, any of the participants? I see there's quite a few participants for this session. Would like to raise a question? Yeah.
As one.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I have a really how to try to make a meaning from the picture. This is a problem in our methodology, I think. How to the semiotic method try to describe the picture. But I think the visual method in communication is really important today. Because what? Because according to Prof. Atwar said, the digital era comes use the visual culture today, and we have some kind like a multimodal analysis, how to try to describe and elaborate the picture. I think so. This is my weakness of my research weakness. Absolutely, I have no idea about how to describe the red color, for example. Maybe the red color Indonesian assumption from the Partai Demokrasi Perjuangan as a political party, the biggest party. If you wear the red color from Azwan, you are comes from PDIP.
What's that? Is that good or bad?
Yeah.
In Indonesian context, the color is really meaningful. Absolutely, Prof. Azwan. That would be a very good, interesting research. Like Dr. Shuaida is applying red lipstick. What does he say? That's very interesting. Should go ahead and try to work on that research. Any other question? Okay, for now it's okay. I'm sure we have time later on to share our thoughts. The third person should be Mr. Chatur Nugroho. I don't see him here. Are you here? Okay, what we'll do is, because he sent his video, but he's not here, we'll go to the fourth one, Santi Indra Astuti, and then we follow through after that. So I present you Santi Indra Astuti. Please explain yourself and narrate us your research. Your floor. No, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Prof. Aswan. Oh my God, I'm in the middle of the session where all the gods here. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be here because all that we can do right now is just virtual meeting right now. But well, thank you very much for the opportunity. I would like to share an excerpt of my would-be dissertation, still going a long way. About the framing of political TV talk show for young people in Indonesia. So may I share the screen, Professor Aswan?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I will share my screen. Okay, thank you so much. Yep, I hope the slides already appear in the screen right now. So the paper is written in a collaboration between me and my lovely professor, Dr. Juliana Abdul Wahab. I would like to start by introducing young voters in West Java local election today. Professor Suhan and Professor Atwar, both my professor from different city, different province. Right now, me and Professor Atwar, we are from similar provinces, West Java province. Sorry, Pak Sulhan, the biggest and the largest and the most problem is here too. West Java province is the biggest population in the country. It also holds the biggest number of voters for the election process. And regarding the political participation, West Java people are actively engaged in some political movement, even in national scale. Young voters since several past elections also we saw a rising spike of the young voters, especially or particularly in the recent local election back to 2018 for the major and 2019 for the governor. 30% of the voters are young people, among them are first-time voters. So we can see that their participation in local election could influence the result of local election. There is a special attention for young voters regarding this number, and it reflected in the in the activities of local commissioner, which organize special programs and roadshow in schools, universities, in campus, working collaboration with many communities and civil organization to do public education or of young people into voting. Now, I would like to talk a little bit about young people and politics. It's been a general assumption everywhere that young people is ignorance toward politics because of many things. They seem not interested in politics, they avoid politics, and politicians talking about politics seems something that dirty for them. But in terms of political communication, there are two strands of theories discussing about the relationship between young people and politics. The first strand discussing about how young people disengage and disinterested on politics. The rise of political disengaged youth generation marked by its apparent disinterest and lack of knowledge of political matters, and also this kind of research talking about the little motivation that displayed by young people to take part in collective civic action to shape the political world around them. But another strand of political theories, communication politics, talking about how young people actually engage in politics, but the way they are involved is different with the old one. Here, young people involve more in less formal politics. Young people are more likely to engage in cause-oriented styles of politics or micro-politics than they are in the formal politics, such as voting, election, and also taking part in political party. Here, young people also take part in more localized social action activities, although they do not themselves consider this to be political or sometimes rather shame to talk about politics. So in this kind of strand of theories, young people are interested in political matters and do take part in political action, but in different forms. Now, I would like to share about political talk show. We all know that talk show is a public forum in radio and also in any other broadcast program. Talk show also a platform of discussion which mediating various interests about topic or issue, and also an example of televisual public sphere by deliver a new kind of public forum. In television talk show, of course, only gather less audience compared with drama. But in certain occasion, like in election, political talk show gather much audience, gaining more popularity and attracting people to watch, particularly when significant issue and significant people brought to the studio. In West Java, the local election in the province attract mass media, even in national scale, due to some reasons. First, it holds big number of voters, so it has a use value. Second, the leadership factor. West Java leaders are so popular, particularly in social media. And third, the political dynamic in West Java traditionally shapes and affects national politics. This is the research problem statement that I argue for, that I delivered, I offer for my research. Well, in Indonesia, students go to the street, actively involving in some political issue, expressing their concern regarding corruption, freedom of expression, the new labor law, and etc. However, concern over their participation in election is rising, approaching the moment of voting. And it's not just about their votes, but also qualities of the votes. Mass media become important outlet for campaigning and gathering potential voters. It also set agenda for discussion and also open up forum to engage candidates and constituents, also with young people. Setting up in disruptive era gives opportunity for TV program, including talk show, to reach more audience and maintaining its presence long after the program was broadcasted. So regarding the media consumptions of young people nowadays, uh, to get information, television is predominant among the young people. We can see the figure here is 89%, surprisingly, and also followed by other media outlet as well. Millennials consume news and information in strikingly different ways than previous generation. Most of them receive news and information through combined channels of streaming television, YouTube, Instagram, and mixed other media. And virtually all millennials are consuming a mix of hard news and lifestyle news with a majority of interest in relevant local news. The aim of my study is trying to explore and seeks to provide explanation about how the political message in the talk show are designed, framed, and constructed to cater specific audience, in this case, young people. So I formulated the research question into questions. The first, what are the contents and structure of political TV talk show in Indonesia to engage young people in the local election? And how did political TV talk show in Indonesia frame and discuss the issue of young people participation in the election? Two political talk show became the center of my study because both talk show address the need to engage with young people. The first is Mata Najwa and the second is Rosi. I just want to share one interesting fact that until recently, the episode of Mata Najwa and Rosi still gather audience. Until now, Mata Najwa gaining 450,000 views, meanwhile Rosi gains 160,000 views. And until now, we can see that the conversation between the audience or netizen is still going on there. The methods of the research is a critical textual analysis, exploring the intrinsic aspect of the talk by utilizing categories such as content, structure, absence, style, and mode of address. So this is the content this is the findings of the research. First of all, regarding the content, there are three kind of result. The first is vocabulary use, stereotypes and characterization, and conflict resolution. I'm afraid that I don't have enough time for that, but you can see that between Mata Najwa and also Rosi, though both talk show addressing and also delivering message to young people, but they have different style of vocabulary used, different style of stereotypes and characterization, and therefore different style or different conflict resolution that follows in the discussion. This is also the structure of the talk show, also the findings of this research. Actually, the structure of this research is just as the same, opening, segment, and closing, but just a quick excerpt of it. We can see that Mata Najwa gives more spaces for young people to articulate their minds rather than Rosi. So based on this, we can see that there are different pattern of interaction that happening between host, general audience, and the candidates that bring in the studio between Mata Najwa and Rosi. Here, Mata Najwa form a triangle interaction between host, guest, and audience, which is mostly young people. Meanwhile, Rosi only engage, only doing a two-way communication between she as a host and the candidates of local election as the guest. Meanwhile, young people there is only a bystander. Another important thing is absent. Absent is an element which might have been expected to be in the text, but missing from it. This talk show is talking about young people political participation in local politics. So it should be the important actor here is the young people. But in Mata Najwa, but both talk show have different strategy and different level of absence. Mata Najwa here show a strong presence of young people. Meanwhile, Rossi shows strong presence of the old people, the elderly or the candidates. So here, we can see that in Rossi's talk show, there are absence of young people. By translating the idea of the talk show in the scenario and also in all the elements of the talk show, we can see that which one the talk show which doing domestication and foreignization. Mata Najwa has qualities of domestication in the text by consigning young people in the show, as we can see here, and tailoring their presence in every segment. But on the contrary, such is not the case in Rossi talk show. All the problems of young people are discussed between the candidates, which is elderly. So Rossi talk show has exercised for recognition of the text. So this is the conclusion of my research. Based on this finding, it could be concluded that both talk show has constructed different frames in discussing and engaging young people in the election. Young people as agent of change in the local election actively is the frame that constructed by Mata Najwa, but for Rossi, although speaking also about young people, but here young people are only treated merely as participant of the local election. So this is the recommendation, but I welcome all the inputs and also all the arguments for this one. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ibu Santi. Very interesting and definitely relevant topic about politics. A, B, how to incorporate the younger generation, because generation gap is vast during this artificial intelligence world. The only word that I heard clearly was old people. What do you think, Pak Atua? I must incorporate Pak Atua with me too, right?
No, thank you very much.
And then she
Very good
changed to
research,
elderly.
Yes, I give Ibu Santi A+.
Alhamdulillah. Me too, because she contextualized from old people to elderly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Pak Sulhan.
Okay, Pak Atua, would you like to ask the first question or to say anything about the research? Very interesting research. Mata Najwa incorporate the younger generation so that they can be heard. So it's equal participation. On the other hand, is the traditional way where we get on our TV, like we have Bicara narrative on RTM1 every night. It's just a 2 ways and it's so boring. So yeah, I'm not saying the old way is boring, but I'm saying there's always a new way approach to incorporate everybody so that no one is left behind. That's the point. Okay, any question?
Oh, Professor Azwan.
Yeah.
May I? Okay. So it is. I totally agree with the Prof. Adwar said. This dissertation should be get A+. Okay, congratulations, Mbak Santi. You are the wow. This is really wonderful job. Absolutely. But I'm really interested with your mention about the host from the talk show is Mata Najwa and Rossi. Okay. Something really interesting for me is about gender and feminism. So until now, the young generation comes from the glowing era. You don't know glowing era. This is a smartphone or a charming or good performance, good looking in the camera. Okay. So
that is what is called glowing era. Time, but I come from a different generation. How's that? Natural glowing.
They should good performance in the camera. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They know about the camera phase and the video phase or so on. So Mbak Santi, do you think the gender is have a important issues in this election or the political image in Indonesia? This is my question. Okay, thank you.
Whoa, hard question after giving my A+ for this will be dissertation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, because it adds also another aspect to be discussed more in my would-be dissertation. But anyway, for me, actually both Najwa Shihab, the host of Mata Najwa, and Rosiana Silalahi, both are excellent journalists and also excellent performer and very smart. And they are also won several awards because of their performance in talk show and also in journalism field. But anyway, regarding the femininity appearance in the station, TV station, this is very interesting actually, because we assume that political topic is very masculine and very public. Meanwhile, both two talk show hosts is a woman, and I think this is a kind of strategy that could lessening the masculinity of the narrative that used to be associated with the politics. And also, anyway, although I do regard it that both talk show are excellent in trying to give political discourse in the country, anyway, they are still a television and they are industry. So it is very important also for them to sell something that good and glowing, as you said, to appear in the television. By that way, it's not just became a selling point for the audience, but for the market itself. But Dr. Aswan, don't worry. You are, though you say that you are not glowing, you are bright, and that is more important than being glowing, right? Thank you.
Okay, any more question? What happened now?
Oh, we are sending love message, not hate message. Sorry, Professor Atwar.
Okay, any more question? What did I do now with my anybody else? No more question? I cannot hear you, Ibu Santi. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, I think that's enough. So we can give opportunity to other presenters.
Okay,
as well.
we have time because we have 4 presenters for now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's okay. We will get back, yeah? All right, thank you very much for this exciting research of yours. Yeah, the gender aspect, you can also, when you're done with your PhD, you're not done yet, right? Okay, all the best, but later on you can expand to the gender aspect. Okay, so now we will go to the 5th presenter, Mr. Hok Guan Tan. You are here, I can see you. You are muted. Yes. Please explain yourself.
Okay,
and,
sure.
Where you're from, and the screen is yours.
I think I have problems share my slide. Hold on. PowerPoint system.
It's okay, take your time. Meanwhile, where are you from?
Good afternoon to Prof. Azwan and all my fellow friends from Indonesia. So my name is Tan Hock Guan, and I'm from actually I graduated already. So previously I was a student in USN KL, to Masters of Communication, Integrated Marketing Communication. So yeah.
Okay.
So this is actually my final year project for my master's degree.
Okay. Did you send your PowerPoint to the organizer? Maybe they can help to upload.
Yes, I have sent it, but I think I have to granted the access for to open the slide. So sorry. Yeah.
You did not, or you did?
I'm doing it.
Are you doing? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Encik Azmi, if you can help.
Dia kena upload share screen sendiri baru dia boleh control dia punya slide.
Oh, okay. Mr. Tan, are you there? Mr. Tan? Mr. Tan, are you there? You are muted. Okay.
Can you guys see my slide?
Yeah, we can see your slide.
A very good afternoon to Prof. Azwan, and of course for all the participants from different countries. And I would like to say welcome to all my Indonesian friends, all the, I believe it's academicians, doctors, and yeah, other participants. So the topic that I would like to present today is online sustainable fashion brands, millennials' attitude, purchase intentions, and behavior. So this is my master's degree final year project. My name is Tan Hock Guan, and my supervisor is Associate Professor Dr. Suhaida Makno. We are from School of Communications, USM. So let's move to the introduction part. Conventional fashion practices and current fashion consumption patterns are highly unsustainable, and the fashion industry has been identified as one of the most resource-consuming and polluting industries. The shorter life cycle in fast fashion consumption has encouraged throwaway culture, and the growth of online commerce further drive the consumption of fast fashion brands as well. So the examples of fast fashion brands are like H&M, Zara, and so on. Let's move into the problem statement part. According to Hart and Cassidy 2019, they mentioned that sustainable development philosophy and fashion concept are often conflict with each other. Online sustainable fashion is emerging, especially among the Malaysian millennial consumers. However, the factors which are shaping the consumer attitudes, purchase intentions, and behavior have yet to be fully explored. So let's move into the literature reviews. For the this is the definition for sustainable fashions. I guess this is something new for most of the people, um, especially among Malaysians. So sustainable fashion is part of the slow fashion movement, sometimes referred as eco fashions, green fashion, or ethical fashions, according to Haniger et al. 2016. And Joshi and Rahman 2015 has mentioned that according to previous study, it showed that a discrepancy or intention action gap between consumers' positive attitudes and their actual buying behavior. In this research, we would like to study about the belief about sustainable fashions as well. According to Zhong and Chen 2019, the study found that consumer perception, senses and cognitions towards the environmental impact of their actions and behavior are including those pertaining to consumptions. This is the conceptual framework for my research. For this research, we study on 8 factors. 6 of it are actually the belief. The first one is family environmental belief, peer pressure. The third one is celebrity endorsement. The next one is customer endorsement and environmental concern of the fashion industry. The next one is ethical belief of sustainable fashion brands. Mm, So these conceptual framework are actually developed by using TPB framework, theory of planned behavior. So subjective norm and perceived behavioral control are actually the original from the state framework TPB theory. So our the dependent the dependent variable will be attitudes toward online sustainable fashion and the purchasing intention of sustainable fashion brands. And the last one is the purchasing behavior of sustainable fashion brands. The methodology that we use is the study employed the quantitative methods with the use of a survey questionnaire to collect the data on all the variables mentioned just now. The survey link was distributed to 2 Facebook groups and 4 WhatsApp groups. The data was collected within the 2 weeks duration. The data collection resulted in 229 usable responses in total, and participant was asked to rate statement related to the variables based on 5-point Likert scales. So the finding of the research is we use a multiple regression analysis to analyze the data and test the hypothesis. The analysis indicate that this is the result. The attitudes towards the online sustainable fashion brands is significant, predicted by family environmental beliefs, celebrity endorsement, and ethical belief of sustainable fashion brands and perceived behavioral control. But on the other hand, peer pressure, environmental concern of the fashion industry, and subjective norm is not significant predicted. The purchasing intention of sustainable fashion brand is significant predicted by both perceived behavioral control and attitudes towards online sustainable fashion brands. And the purchasing intention of sustainable fashion brands and perceived behavioral control significantly predict purchase behavior of online sustainable fashion brands. This is another result. So let's move into the discussion part. In the current study, customer endorsement emerged as the most significant predictor of attitudes as well as consumer ethical beliefs about sustainable fashion brands and perceived behavioral control. The finding highlighted that respondent attitudes towards online sustainable fashions were formed based on their thought on customer role in the online platform. So it is very significant that the online customer reviews, e-word of mouth, feedback about the features and the quality of the sustainable fashion brands are very important and very significant. Based on the result is what evidence that attitude has significantly and positively predicted the purchasing intentions of sustainable fashion brands. When someone who has a positive perspective on the sustainable fashion brand seen online, they will eventually develop a positive attitude and intention to purchase it. Let's move into the conclusion of the research. We found that um, environmental concerns are not influential towards millennial attitudes and behavior towards sustainable brands, fashion brands. Uh, we see that there are so many advertisement videos about environmental concerns are available on YouTube, Facebook, but yet the environmental issues are still persist and people still choose fast fashion brands over sustainable brands. That's why this research is proof that environmental concerns are actually not the major factor which can influence their behavior and intention to purchase the sustainable fashion brands. The result also indicate that family belief, ethical concern, celebrity endorsement, and other customer endorsement play a very important role in influencing millennial attitudes in Malaysia. This one we can indicate that family influence is very important, and ethical is also one of the factor which is important to influence their purchasing intention and behavior, and of course celebrity endorsement as well, because most of the millennials are actually follow the celebrity that they like. Hence, effort in promoting online sustainable fashion brands should focus on the factors that I mentioned just now. Thank you. That's all my presentation. And I will appreciate if you have any questions for me.
Thank you, Mr. Philip Tan, right? Your name is Philip Tan.
You can call me Philip.
Okay, very interesting, because it never occurred to me that sustainable fashion brands doesn't equate to environmental issue. Maybe I didn't get the definition right. Just to make it clearer, what does sustainable fashion brands means? Yeah, maybe I didn't hear clearly.
Okay, Prof. I mentioned in my literature review, sustainable fashion is part of the slow fashion. That means normally like fast fashion, the life cycle actually is very fast. The production is very quick, and then they distribute a lot. Like normally we can get in those market, supermarket, those are fast fashion. But sustainable fashions are using ethical way to produce it, and normally they will use the materials which is not harmful to the environment. Yeah, so and normally the price will be higher because they didn't use harmful chemicals, which can be harm the environment or harm the human health. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I find it so ironic, because environmental is not one of the factor that push buyers or influence buyers. So it's apparent that people around them, family, and especially celebrities endorsement. So yeah, so that's very really food for thought. At the end of the day, what sells, bad sells. We go back to the media, and this is also happening. Okay, please, we still have lots of time. We can discuss. Even if you want to go back to Ibu Santi's presentation, Prof. Atwal, Dr. Sulhan, we may do so. Because we still don't, we have still not heard from, let me check his name again, yeah. The other participant, Pak Catur Nugroho. Pak Akmal, did you hear anything?
Prof. Azwan.
Yeah.
May I?
Yeah, please.
Thank you. Dr. Philip Tan, nice to hear your presentation. Is so there is so ultimate point from your idea and your research. I think I'm really interested with the ideology of the fashion itself. Okay, so in my opinion, this is not just trend in contextuality in terms of time. Let's say just in Malaysia, just in 2020 or 2021 or like that, some kind like that. But my question is, what do you think about the impact of the patient itself is a global impact or just contextual impact or just recently? This is the not permanent trend. Can you get what my point is? Can you get what my point? Okay. This is what my question is about that. What do you think?
Thank you for the question. I think that it can be global impact because global warming, environmental impact actually already affected us few decades already. So pollution keep going, and people are still not aware about how important of the sustainable, and we have to protect our earth and also our environment. So fashion, as I mentioned just now, we are just keep buying. We think that we like it, we just buy. But these fast fashion brands, they're using materials which is cannot, some of it cannot recycle. So it will end up landfill, and also the rubbish on the earth will keep growing and growing without being recycled or can be disappear. So yeah, so that's why people have to aware that many people actually they ignore this. They think that fashions, the clothes, so kind of this thing doesn't affect much to the environment, but actually you do it without attention. Yeah, so this is the importance of the slow fashions, sustainable fashions, in order to protect our environment. Yeah. So this is global impact.
Yeah, we always look at a plastic bag and plastic stuff, things that, we follow the bandwagon of sustainability, no plastic bag, no plastic this and that. But we forget there are other tangible products that also can harm the earth. Yeah, keep the discussion on.
I think in the Dr. Azwan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the other thing that's also in the discussion of Finn's dissertation that she has not presented here was that on the culture, the throwaway culture, as well as the fashion is actually one of the most polluting aside from agriculture in the world, polluting to the environment, and little things, not just on clothing, like mica. The use of mica, the mining of mica involves child labor, and also with the sweatshirt we have heard in the past, the sweatshirt industry, the use of child labor. So these little things that are hidden by and but fashion is growing and growing. So nobody has been paying that much attention to fashion, except for maybe in the instances of in the US, where during the Obama period, Obama had banned those micro beads. Yeah, remember he banned the micro beads. We are still using that in our cosmetics, but it's really polluting to the animals. That these are really micro bits that we don't even think about. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to educate ourselves if we are really concerned about the earth. Yeah, we are really concerned, but I'm speaking on behalf of myself. I'm very selective because I've not expanded my thoughts and knowledge. That's what we should be doing right now, especially old people like us, like me and Pak Atwa, to educate the younger people. Right, Dr. Shwaida?
Very right. I think for our generation, I can put myself in your, we're in the same cohort. Like myself, I'm trying to make sure that I don't throw away my baju kurung. I'll try to make sure that I go back to my size so that I don't, I don't have to throw them away. We have like I have clothes from 10, 15 years ago that I still keep in the hope that I can still wear them. But yeah. Yeah, so but I think in my class, two of my classes this year, I found that the younger generations are more aware of what about fashion, and they're looking into studies that looked at the negative effects of fashion. Yeah, so I think there's hope. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always hope, and it's up to us. Anybody else that would like to say your piece, or this is the last time for you to speak up and say your piece? Oh, I see Din Rahman. Is that Dr. Mahyudin? Are you here, Dr. Mahyudin? Yeah, I see other names too. Yeah, we like to say something. We're trying to ask whether we can show the slide of the absent presenter. Maybe there's internet issues. I'm still waiting for Puan Akmal's. Yeah, she's still asking. Otherwise, we will go to main hall at 3:55. But let's not waste this moment. Let's discuss. Dr. Sulhan, I need your thoughts on research on what's happening on the Indonesian platform, because we have lost touch. I have lost touch with all of you.
Really?
Yeah. Is Pak Nunong still there? I'm asking on behalf of Dr. Juliana.
Absolutely. Prof. Bruno is still there.
Pak Nono is still there.
No, not here, not here.
No, I mean it's still in Gajah Mada.
Oh yeah, absolutely, still in Gajah
What
Mada.
kind of research is he doing? What kind of research is your department doing? Share with us.
Okay, our department tried to elaborate about the digital media in Indonesia, and as long as we know, digital contact in Indonesia so have many problems, and digital issues is so harmful context in Indonesia, and problematic of conflict and the political identities is so really weird in one sometimes. Gajah Mada University still fight with the to people growth, absolutely grassroots in the images. But the capitalism comes to our campus and try to bargaining with the ideological of capitalism. I think the platform is all of the platform is surveillance capitalism so on today's, and nobody can live, nobody can lose from the surveillance capitalism today. Okay, I think, okay, back to the Philip topic. I'm really agree. I believe the ideology comes from whatever we wear in our bodies, the passion and the many things of all of our fashion is have a ideological concept in the behind and uncensoredness of our culture. This is really supporting to the capitalism itself. Do you get my point? It's a really dramatic and paradoxal. I think this is really paradox. And at the one point, in the one side, you try to make awareness and make condition we aware about the environmental issues. We should know and aware about the garbage. But in the other side, the fashion, the cosmetic, support the surveillance capitalism itself. Is how come is the paradoxal can be happen in our world? This is my point. Absolutely. I don't know. Just my feeling. I don't know. Just to discuss from others. Maybe Mbak Santi can talk something. Mak-mak loh.
What about the type of research? I think lots of going on in the field, especially because of this digital platform, and also this pandemic also posed us with so many research ideas until we reach the point what to do, how to start it. But actually, I do believe that when it comes to solve the problems of communication, I think that we need more collaboration from other multidiscipline as well. For example, when we're talking about the problems in tackling infodemic in the digital platform, it is also suitable and also worth, I think, to hear what other scholars said from discipline of informatics and so on. And also, I think communication would give a valuable contribution for other discipline as well regarding this one. It's only a simple thought. It just comes up in my mind, especially when I see that, okay, this is just a small circle of us, but the ideas of discussing the problems of the humankind is so huge and so valuable. So what happens if we enlarging this circle to other multidiscipline scholars as well?
Yeah, everybody seems to be going on doing research, jumping on the bandwagon of this artificial intelligence, this digital world of social media, because it really gives us issue. Like fake news in Malaysia is like, oh my God, and people are forwarding messages. They did not even know. I always, when people forward me messages, I always ask, where did you get the source from? Give me the source. Then I'll get less forwarded messages, because I need to ask the source, because I teach journalism. And I've just, for the next academic year, I'm introducing a new course called Mindful Journalism. So Dr. Sulhan, maybe you also want to go into that mindful, because I have a book chapter on in mindful communication. So I'm introducing that course so that we can give a new way of looking at how you develop news. Of course, at the end of the day, the editor, the organization, the news media will decide. However, to go back to Dr. Sulhan's research, it's the responsibility of the journalist to speak the truth and not to recreate or reconstruct the truth. Of course, you cannot be at Mount Agung when it erupted, but there are other ways of giving the readers by what is now called in that course. I'm also proposing humanizing the news. That's the term now, not coined by me, by UNESCO, by many scholars. I'm adopting and adapting that in my teaching. I'm retiring soon, so yeah, you don't have to ask for my age, Dr. Sulhan. You can see that I'm 27 forever. So I want to leave that to the student. The mindful journalism. That's what we don't have now in Malaysia. It's so sad. So we humanize the news. The news must center on people, not politician, but people. That's how we run away from giving more, glorify the not really what we want to glorify. Okay, let me see. I have WhatsApp from Palka.
Associate Professor Tazwan.
Yeah.
We are trying to get Chatur to come in. We already sent him the link.
Yeah.
He said he will be joining us, so hopefully he can join us. So let's give it like another 1 or 2 more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah? All right. So we are.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are trying to get.
Where's
him.
your face, Dr. Juliana? We would like to see your face here. Please show us your face. Wow! Glowing or not, Mbak Santi?
We are missing you, Juliana. I miss you so much. How are you?
Ya, harus ketemu kita semua ya.
Nice to meet you. Oh, senang sekali.
Iya.
So happy today.
You didn't use so much.
Prof Azwar, Miss Juliana is so glowing, like a millennial age.
harus berperang ini sama Dr. Azwan.
Ya.
Glowing.
Aku lagi glowing, Pak.
Kasih dia.
Nanti kena katok kepala.
Ya, aku takut. Sabar. Mau cari catur ya, sekejap ya, cari catur.
Ya, apa aku mau just say, doktor dia kena share slide, takat ni tak boleh buka. Ya, Dr. Jana
Kita share slide dulu.
You can share the slide.
Dokter, sudah datang Pak Catur?
Oh, sudah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Alhamdulillah. Okay.
Alhamdulillah. Mana ya?
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang mana ya Pak Catur?
So sorry.
Oh, di dalam mobil lagi ya Pak?
Iya.
Yang apa-apa, mana-mana pun bisa. Okey, dipersilakan Pak, perkenalkan diri. Please introduce yourself and then you can go ahead.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. My name is Catur Nugroho. I'm from Telkom University Bandung, Indonesia. I'm sorry to all friends and committee because I not yet entered this room. Okay. Can the committee share the presentation, my presentation, Ms. Aswan? Hello.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them. I don't know who can do it, but I'm waiting.
Admin, who is the admin?
Doktor, kita dah try tadi nak download dia punya slide. Tak boleh lah, ada error.
Pak Catur?
Ya.
Admin memberitahu slide Pak Catur ada error, tak boleh tunjuk. Maybe Pak Catur boleh just give a summary of your PowerPoint. It doesn't have to be in greatest detail so that we know what are you trying to share with us. Just bercerita saja apa saja ya.
Okay, thank you. Because I want to sign in this Palka Wacana, but I can enter the room. So I use my smartphone to enter the Zoom. Okay ya?
Ya, semoga smartphone itu smart ya.
Okay. Okay, thank you. My article with the title of the commodification of internal conflict of the Yogyakarta Parish. This article is a part of my dissertation with critical discourse analysis of news text of Kedaulatan Rakyat Daily. In the revision, the reviewer wants to add some newspaper, but in this presentation, I still use one media, yes, Kedaulatan Rakyat Daily. So a little about my research is the conflict, and the internal conflict between Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono X, the king of Yogyakarta, and his younger brothers was preceded by the presentation of Sabda Tama by Sultan Hamengkubuwono X on 20 and 15. Then in April 30 and May 20 and 50, Sultan Hamengkubuwono issued an edict in the form of Sabda Raja and Dawu Raja, or word of king, or word of the king. In the matter of leadership succession in Yogyakarta, there are also claims of language that carries the rest of power, claims on behalf of society and equal right of men and women. I use the theory of language, discourse, and power as a form of media production. The news is manifest in the form of language. Language in modern society as Fairclough say, has developed not only as a medium of social control and power, but also contributes to the process of dominating others by other parties. From this research, I use the commodification theory from Vincent Mosco and the critical discourse analysis from Norman Fairclough. And the research question is, this research want to reveal several things related to the process of producing and distributing news texts, how Kedaulatan Rakyat Daily produce news texts related to the issue of internet.
I think it's bad connection. Pak Catur.
Hello, can you hear my voice?
You were gone for a bit.
Oh, okay. I start from the research question.
Yeah.
The research question is how the relationship between media ideology and the linguistic aspect produced by Kedaulatan Rakyat Daily. This Kedaulatan Rakyat Daily is the most popular newspaper in Yogyakarta and Central Java. And second question is how the process of commodifying conflicts even by Kedaulatan Rakyat Daily into a commercial product that is suitable for sale to the public. The finding and discussion from the text level analysis, I use the analysis of text includes traditional form of linguistic analysis like vocabulary, semantic, the grammar, sound system, or phonology, and writing system. And the discourse or production of discourse in internal conflict of Yogyakarta Police, I use the genre, discourse, and style. The finding is the discourse on internal conflict was produced by quoting said statement from source who were considered to represent the interest of Sultan Hamengkubuwono X brothers who had different opinion regarding the succession of Yogyakarta Palace. The genre used by Kedaulatan Rakyat Daily in this conflict discourse is editorial, incident reports, and quotation from interviews. Source who get a lot of place in the production of discourse of the internal conflict of Yogyakarta Palace by GBPH Yudaningrat and GBPH Prabu Kusumo. And the Kedaulatan Rakyat Daily newspaper produce news text with a discourse strategy that represent the ideology and interest of Sultan brothers, and ignores the opinion and interest of Sultan Hamengkubuwono X, the king of Yogyakarta. And the conclusion from my article is that the practice of producing this discourse is carried out by the Kedaulatan Rakyat Daily, ignoring the vision and mission of media companies which try to always be neutral and not side with one particular interest or group. And this institutional context can be separated from the economic and political interest of Kedaulatan Rakyat. The commodification of internal conflict in Yogyakarta was carried out by Kedaulatan Rakyat Daily to get readers' attention and support. In the production of this internal conflict discourse, Kedaulatan Rakyat Daily codified the content of the conflict that occurred in the Yogyakarta village. Okay, thank you, Ms. Asman.
Okay, thank you, Pak Catur. We have 2 minutes for question and answer before we move to the main hall for the closing. Anybody would like to get it? Anything?
I have no question from this.
Maybe because if people see the slide, they will get the idea better. But But what you explained, I understand your methodology perfectly, because that's my methodology too when I do research.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe we have the same research interest and methodology. It's just that because we are rushing, that's why the presenters and the audience are a little bit slightly unclear. But that was a very interesting research. If we can get hold of your notes, that would be brilliant. Okay, with that, I shall
Thank you,
close this session. I thank all of you presenters. Good job, brilliant. Let's give a virtual clap to everybody. I enjoyed the session very much, especially I know at least 3 of the presenters, but now I know new friends. And the audience who are here, thank you very much. It has been a great pleasure, a great sharing session. Keep this momentum open. The research passion, because that is all that we have. We have so much obstacles and challenges in this pandemic era, but our research passion should not be affected. Like just now, we saw the sustainable fashion brands is not affected actually by the environment. Surprise! So as ironic as it can be, but there's a new discovery. We learned something new. So okay, again, thank you very much of all of you.
Thank you.
We shall.
I'm so sorry.
Let's
On
take the
car.
picture.
Everybody, smile. Get your
Prof. Azwan.
Thank you,
Prof. Azwan,
everybody.
let's take the picture before we go.
Who's taking our picture?
I'm so sorry, on my car.
You are glowing.
Back to my campus.
Don't worry, Prof. Adwar, you are still glowing. Don't worry.
I forget something in my campus. Sorry.
I miss your campus. Okay, who's taking our picture?
Mbak Santi.
Okay.
Mbak Santi, please.
Halo Bu Juliana. Wow, so glowing, kata Pak Sulhan ya.
Okay.
Okay, Mbak Santi, fotonya ya.
I will. Yep.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. One more.
Oh, gini ya? Gini ya?
1, 2, 3. Glowing maksimal.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Miss you,
Thank
Professor
you.
Azwan.
Yo, kemen hall semua.
Assalamualaikum.
Yo, kemen hall ya.
Sukses Bu Santi, Bu Juliana. Salam.
Thank you, Bu
Pak
Santi.
Suhan, Pak Adwar, everyone.
Hatur nuhun. Hatur. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.